University Lady Cougar basketball team made it 2 in a row and a clean sweep for the weekend with a 79-74 victory over Flagler in the first half of our doubleheader. And now the Cougar men will try to do the same thing on their home floor in game number 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams here on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for game number 2 on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday afternoon across the country. The Cougars 9-6 overall, 3-5 in conference play. Flagler 8-7 overall, 2-6 in conference play as they get set to go head-to-head on this Monday afternoon. Prior to tip-off, we caught up with the boss of the Cougars, head coach Robert Moore.
Cougar head coach Robert Moore with us as we get set for Flagler on this Monday afternoon. Coach, let's go back to Saturday, a victory for you all here. What was the biggest difference as you looked at it down the stretch? A change where you all have closed a game out finally. The guys executed down the stretch.
Oh, I thought we executed down the stretch. I was also proud of our defense. There was a lot of fouls called in that game, and so I thought we did a good job of making our free throws also. Anytime in the last 5 minutes of a game, you got to rebound the basketball, you got to get stops, and you also got to make free throws, and I thought our guys did a good job of that.
We've crossed the halfway point in this season now. What's been the most surprising thing that you've seen from this team this year?
I just think that we got a lot of guys that we can play, and I think our depth has really shown now because the league is so tough, and you're going to get beat up every night, and so many guys are going out with injuries. You just can't play the same lineup every night, but I'm just happy that our guys are staying focused and understanding. They're finally understanding that every game is a tough game and you got to be ready to play and stay focused for all conference games.
Have there been any guys individually that maybe have shown you something that you didn't know they had coming into the preseason?
I was been very surprised with R.J. Sessions. I think, I didn't think he would be as far along as a freshman as he is now. He's playing really good basketball. I feel like sometimes we don't get him enough shots because he can make so many shots. I think Kenny is playing solid for us. He had a stretch right there where he was hurt, that he couldn't really do the things that he could do on the court. But I think he's coming along and staying focused on what he has to do to make our team win.
And when you look at the conference, you all have struggled, taken 5 losses, but you're right in the thick of the conference race in the Western Division to be in that top 4 that gets back here for March. How does the West stack up this year?
I think it's a pretty tough side of the league, and I think the other side is very tough too. So like I tell our guys, the thing you got to do, you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You take a team like Pembroke, who's a pretty good basketball team, they have lost 5 straight conference games. So I try to tell our guys, stay focused on the next game, don't look ahead, because you never know in this league. So right now, I think on our side right now, Georgia Southwestern is probably the better team. Montevelo's still tough. We lost to them at home, but we had a 16-point lead. So I just think everybody can beat anybody. And this Flagler team coming here tonight, we can't take them for granted because they can play basketball.
Let's talk about Flagler. On the offensive end, what do they look like?
Offensive, they got size. They got guys that can get to the basket. They got guys that can score. And, point guard Richard Brown is probably one of the better point guards in the league. So our guys got to get back in transition. We got to stop dribble penetration, and we got to rebound the basketball, and I think we'll be fine.
And then how do you attack them on the offensive end?
On offensive end, we got to still run our transition. I think that's the best part of our game. We can get to the basket, and we got to draw fouls when we get to the basket. Also, we got to look for Shane Haywood and D'Angelo Kirkland inside. We got to learn to start playing inside out instead of going outside in, because a lot of times those inside guys starts the game off good for us, and then we can, defenses close down on them, and then it opens up on the outside.
What kind of tempo you expect?
I expect almost like a track meet in every game that we play, because they got some quick guards that are athletic, and I think we also have guards that can get to the basket. So it's going to be a transition game all night long.
Coach, looking forward to it. Best of luck this afternoon.
All right, thanks, Steve.
1 minute away from tip here inside the Lumpkin Center as the Cougars go for 2 in a row as they try to add on to a 89-74 victory they had on this floor on Saturday. For the first time this season in conference play, they really kept a double-digit lead and held the opponent at arm's length and never really gave them an opportunity here. That's been a struggle for them this season, and that's something that Robert Moore's guys are looking to build on. If they had been able to do that all year long, this team would be one of the top in the Peach Belt right now, but it shows the potential is there. If they can go on and start closing games out like that, they will no longer be on the wrong end of those kind of ball games. 2 teams struggling for conference wins and both need one on this Monday afternoon. Flagler coming in off a loss, 91-73 on Saturday at Georgia Southwestern. They've actually lost the last 3 games that they've played, going all the way back to Saturday, January 11th against Landers. So they're trying for one today. Starting lineup time here in the Lumpkin Center. We'll send it over to Brian Solito for your starting fives.
Conference basketball matchup featuring the Saints of Flagler College. You're going into today's game with an overall record of 8 wins and 7 losses, 2-6 in conference play. And your Columbus State University Cougars, 9-6 overall, 3-5 in each belt. Let's get today's starting lineups. First for the Saints of Flagler College. At one forward, 6'7", a junior from Havana, Florida, number 14, Desmond Gibson. At the other forward, 6'5", a senior from Sebastian, Florida, number 24, Keith Matthews. The guards, a 5'11" senior from Charlotte, number 1, Richard Brown. A 6'3" junior from Deltona, Florida, number 2, Dennis Diaz. And a 6'2" junior from Durham, North Carolina, number 23, Lydell Mayo. The head coach of the Saints is Bill Clark, assisted by Jude Pickett and Buzz Emmerman. And now, let's meet and with the Cougar starters. First and forward, 6'8" junior from Pensacola, number 22, D'Angelo. The man in the middle, 6'6" junior from Charleston, number 2, Shane Hayward. And one guard, 6'2", the junior from Nova, number 5, Ty Harris. And guard 6'2", a freshman from Columbus, Georgia, number 23, R.J. Session. And in guard 6'4", a junior from Orlando, number 4, B.J. Brown. The head coach of the Cougars is Robert Moore, assisted by Ben Hicks, Dean Settler.
Columbus State sticking with its same starting five it went with on Saturday. Shane Hayward and D'Angelo Kirkland. In the post, R.J. Sessions, B.J. Battle, and Ty Harris on the perimeter for Flagler. They'll go with Richard Brown, their point guard from Charlotte. Dennis Diaz, a junior guard from Deltona, Florida. Desmond Gibson from Havana, Florida. Lydell Manigo, a junior guard from Durham, North Carolina. And Keith Matthews, the leading scorer for this team out of Sebastian, Florida. Flagler in the road black uniform, CSU in the home white. CSU owns a 4-1 lead all-time in this series. This is the 6th meeting overall. The Cougars have won 4 straight, though, after Flagler won the first ever matchup back in 2010. It'll be Hayward to jump things up with Gibson in the center. As we're set for basketball, the second half of the doubleheader here on Cougar Sports TV is officially underway. It'll be Ty Harris, the point guard for CSU, that will run the show. The junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, starting for the 3rd consecutive ball game. Immediately, they get a touch to Shane Hayward, who, trying to back down Gibson, lost his footing and called for the travel. You heard Robert Moore, though, in pregame say, we have to work inside out. They have to start from the inside and work their way out, and they love getting their big guys going early in the game. And so you saw right there on the opening possession, trying to get the early touch for Shane Hayward, who has watched his numbers soar over the last few weeks. Playing very good basketball of late, had his first double-double of his CSU career on Saturday. CSU with the steal, but B.J. Battle trying to grab it and run before he actually had it, and lost it on the sideline. CSU, a team that's 8-2 this year on their home floor. The only losses coming against Montevallo and Francis Marion in this building. CSU, a team that very easily could be looking down at its schedule and be 13-2. But they have lost some leads. They've had some breaks go against them. And instead, they find themselves at 9-6 and fighting back in the conference race. The 3 rattles home for Dennis Diaz to start things off. The opening basket of the ball game to the junior from Florida. Kirkland puts it on the deck. The shot didn't go, but 2 shots coming up for the post player out of Pensacola, Florida. Keith Matthews commits the foul, and they love to get Matthews in foul trouble if possible. He's the leading scorer at 16 points a game. He's the 5th leading rebounder in the conference at over 9 per. So they'd love to get him in some kind of foul trouble if possible. D'Angelo Kirkland, a guy that when CSU can keep him on the floor, he's been such a weapon for them. But it's keeping him on the floor and out of foul trouble that has been one of the challenges this season. Averaging 7.5 and 7.5 points and rebounds. CSU with a little bit of pressure in the backcourt that time. Forced Flagler to work to get the ball up. Flagler with a 1-point edge. 3-2 with 1:15 gone. They kick it out. This is Brown from the perimeter, and they've got back-to-back 3-pointers. Richard Brown, the point guard Robert Moore talked about in pregame, hits a 3 to make it a 6-2 game. Battle over 2 players. The follow-away good for BJ Battle. BJ, a streaky shooter, always good to watch the first one go down. Diaz will try again. That one tipped around on the rebound and into the hands of Ty Harris. CSU loves to push the pace, and Harris is the point guard that does that best for them. He had his layup attempt blocked, though, and the ball ends up in the hands of Manigo. He'll go all the way to the other end where Shane Hayward comes up with the block. RJ Sessions the last one to touch it, though. Shane Hayward is climbing up the CSU record book in blocks for a season. That was block number 44 for the junior from Charleston. He came into the game 10th all-time in CSU single-season history. Manigo that time with an air ball from 3, and the fans in the building will let him know about it. Battle will try again. From downtown, the shot doesn't go, but Manigo fouls a jump shooter, the Cardinals' sin of guarding on the perimeter. Went out to guard BJ Battle, who went straight up for the shot. Manigo crashed into him, and BJ will have 3 free throws with a chance to put CSU in front for the first time. BJ averaging over 11 points per game. Has 11 times this season been in double figures in scoring. The junior out of Orlando. 18 his season high. That came 8 days ago against UNC Pembroke on this floor. 3 for 3 from the foul line where he's a 90% shooter. And CSU in front 7-6, its first lead. Flagler able to break the press, passing around it and over the top as CSU tries to get after it on the defensive end. Diaz to the rim, and he airballs. Back-to-back airballs out of the hands of the Saints. Harris got out of control and lost it. Brown leading it the other way, 1-on-2. Goes right at Hayward, and BJ Battle was the one that time that got the block. BJ now with 11 of those for the season. Nothing comes easy around the Cougar rim. Ty Harris out guarding the ball. It was Matthews trying to drive, and Harris hit with a hand check foul. We had quite a foul fest on our hands on Saturday between CSU and Armstrong. 53 combined fouls, 74 combined free throws. A lot of that happening in the second half of that ball game, in which was a 15-point final. And there's another foul coming up. This one will go against RJ Sessions. So 2 fouls per side. 17:05 to go in this first half. 7-6 CSU in front. Manigo off the inbounds, blocked by Hayward. He has another, and now it's a run out. D'Angelo Kirkland with the slam. Kirkland with the finish. (9-6). Kirkland puts some life in the building. That one all created off of Hayward's block. Already 2 now for the man in the middle. Matthews trying to back down on Kirkland. Goes up. Kirkland stayed on the floor. The rebound into the hands of Kirkland, and CSU trying to push the tempo. Harris, a handoff. Sessions' first shot of the game off the back rim. RJ Sessions, you think it goes down every time it comes out of his hands. Diaz missed the shot badly. Rebound on another run out. CSU, it's a 2-on-2. They'll throw it up, and BJ Battle will throw it down on the alley-oop. And Bo Clark wants to stop things now before this building gets rocking here in the Lumpkin Center. Sessions sets up Battle. The alley-oop makes it 11-6, 15:55 to go here in the Lumpkin Center. CSU, after the emphatic throwdown on the alley-oop, leads at 11-6 as they're on a 9-0 run after trailing 6-2. Matthews goes right at Kirkland, who trying to stay out of foul trouble, stays on the floor, and Keith Matthews has his first 2. Puts an end to that 9-0 run, and Jamad Salim in for the first time now for the Cougars. Jamad has only played in 4 games this season. He's had quite a run of bad luck. He missed the first 7 because of a broken wrist, as that one last touched by Battle. Jamad missed the first 7 games because of a broken wrist, suffered right before preseason practice started when they were doing individual workouts. Played 4 games, then he broke a bone in his left hand after he broke his right wrist. It was his left hand that he broke a bone in, and that's caused him to miss the last 4 games along with a high ankle sprain. So he's a guy that's battled injuries throughout the course of the entire year, and now making his reappearance on the floor and coming off first man off the bench for Robert Moore at the point guard position. They love to get the junior back fully healthy because that gives them another option at the point guard position. 11-8 our score as we hit the under 16 media timeout. CSU in front by 3. This Flagler team has lost its last 3 at the hands of Lander, Georgia Regions, and Georgia Southwestern. Most recently, Southwestern knocking them off in Americus on Saturday by 18, 91-73. CSU would love to have the same kind of result today. BJ Battle with an early 7. D'Angelo Kirkland has the other 4 for CSU, as Kenny Funderburk is on the floor for the first time. Columbus State's leading scorer coming off the bench, averaging 16.1 per game. Flagler with Adam Jones into the game, as is Matt Conway, their sharpshooter from downtown. So some fresh faces on the floor for the 2 sides. Matthews, again, right at the rim. The shot wasn't there. The tip followed, didn't go, and Salim has the rebound to push. He'll set up Funderburk. Funderburk from 15 feet has his first one. And that is Kenny's game. Getting the ball in the mid-range and let him take jumpers all day long. Brown off a screen along 2, answers. Richard Brown with 5. Robert Moore said he thought we might have a track meet because his team would prefer to play that way. So far, a lot of scoring early. Flagler dropping into a 2-3 zone now. Brown and Diaz up top. Both post players still on the floor for CSU. Battle Salim and Funderburk, the 3 guards. Underneath, Salim with a creative pass. Kirkland and one. You see what Jamad Salim can bring to the floor that time. It looked like on the drive he was going to set it up for Funderburk in the corner, but then with a no-look, dropped the bounce pass, put it right in the chest of Kirkland, who drew the foul and made the shot, and he'll have a chance for a free throw for 3. Kirkland with 6 already as the foul went against Conway, his first. That's the 3rd against Flagler. So D'Angelo to the line. Now with 7 points already. Fantastic start for the junior from Pensacola. Jermaine Morgan will come off the bench and let Kirkland get a rest, but 7 points already to go with 3 rebounds. And more importantly, maybe, no fouls. Flagler able to finally get out of the press. The 3 from Conway not there. Nobody to rebound for Flagler. All white jerseys. 6-point lead, 16-10 for CSU. Battle passed up an opportunity at 3. They go to the corner with Funderburk. He'll shoot over Conway, short. Hayward has the rebound though. He'll go up. They're going to wave the shot attempt off and say there was a hold on the floor. Foul goes on Jarrell Oxendine. That's his first. Just checked into the ball game. CSU with a pair of post players out of the junior college ranks in Hayward and Kirkland. The 2 may not have been quite the forces they were hoping so far this year, as Battle will tee one up and knock it down from outside. Those 2 post players, though, to continue the thought, have been very good recently. And so Robert Moore getting the production he hoped he would get out of him when he recruited him here. B.J. Battle, by the way, in double figures with 10. Richard Brown, though, again has the answer with a 3 of his own. Brown has 8. Funderburk to the rim. Missed the shot. Wanted a foul call. There was nothing. Closing in on 13 minutes to go in the first half. Matthews gives it up. Brown, who's had the hot hand. He'll try again, this time from 17, and that one barely grazes the backboard. Salim leads it the opposite way. Hesitation dribble. Chasing down Morgan. Drops it off, and Salim has another assist. Shane Hayward with his first 2, and Jamad Salim offering up a new option for CSU as he has already assisted on 3 baskets. Jamad, not a prolific scorer, but he knows that, so he is always looking to pass first. Oxendine has the shot bounce around, come off, and Morgan grabs the rebound. CSU doing a nice job on the glass. 11-5 their advantage in that category. 8-point lead, closing in on 8 minutes gone by, a chance to open up a double-digit margin. CSU playing very well through the first 8 minutes. Underneath, Hayward, good position, smaller player on him, and Shane Hayward with his patented left-hand shot off the glass. Another assist for Salim, his 4th. CSU shooting 67% as the 3 is good for Richard Brown, the only guy right now for Flagler that has done anything, any kind of damage on the offensive end. He has 11, keeping them in this ball game. Funderburk drives baseline, lost it on his way up, and it was last touched by Flagler, so CSU will keep it. 11:34 to go, 23-16, CSU with it. Media timeout on the floor here in the Lumpkin Center on Cougar Sports TV. 23-16, Stephen Williams with you here on Cougar Sports TV. 11:34 to go. CSU has made 67% of its shots. They're 8 for 12 early on, and they're 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Battle from straight on, long three, bounced off the rim, and the rebound grabbed by Flagler. Oxendine, three, not there. The rebound run down in the corner by Kirkland, who just checked back in. So Salim, Morgan, Kirkland, Battle, and Funderburk on the floor in white for CSU. Flagler back again into that 2-3 zone. Battle, this time from a little closer. Missed worse on that one, as it was short and right. Diaz being harassed by Salim, forced to give it up. 10:45 left in this first half now. Kirkland hedges out on the screen, and Funderburk hit for the foul, trying to tie the ball up. On Kenny, that's his first. As Battle will sit down, RJ Sessions will check in. So fresh 35 after the foul. That was the third against CSU. Oxendine after the pump fake from the elbow, hits the two. So back within 5. CSU had a chance to make it 10 earlier when they led by 8. It's a 5-point game though. And now Kenny Funderburk travels in the lane. Flagler 7 of 20 to start off this ball game. 4 of 8 from downtown. CSU 8 of 14 and 1 of 5. And now Jermaine Morgan hit for the blocking foul, trying to hedge out on the screen up top. First foul on Jermaine, now 4 against CSU. 4 fouls per side, nobody with more than 1. Bo Clark in his 28th season at the helm at Flagler, calling out the play, and now RJ Sessions called for the hand check foul. That's his second. RJ frustrated, forced to sit down with 10:06 to go in this first half. Refs calling it tight right now on the ball. Bo Clark with 460 wins coming into today. All of them there in St. Augustine for Flagler. Kick out. Jones, a 3. Goes down, the big man at 6'9", 235. Steps out and hits one from downtown where he only shoots 26%. That one off of the leg of Brown. Goes out of bounds, and Ty Harris will sub in on the dead ball. Harris back in to run the point. Jamad Salim will take a rest. He picked up 4 assists, though, during his first action on the court in 4 games. Battle passes up an opportunity from the corner as CSU runs a half-court offense. Harris, the kick out. Funderburk straight away off the front rim. Rebound touched last by B.J. Battle, and it'll belong to the Saints. Flagler within 2 now, 23-21. Trailed by 8 early, but they fought their way back. Trailed by 9 at 19-10. But now down just 2. Oxendine, kick out. This is Diaz, steps through a double team. Drives to the rim, the shot goes down, and a foul. Foul goes against Ty Harris, that's his second. And Flagler has a chance now to regain the lead back. Hayward, Dimitri Davis, and Nick Turner come into the game. Kirkland sits down. Ty Harris sits down. And Jermaine Morgan also takes a seat. Funderburk and Battle stay on the floor. Diaz with the and one has 6 points now, and he gives the Saints the lead at 24-23. Nick Turner on the floor to run the point now. That ball kicked by the foot of Jones. Karams into the corner where Bo Clark will go retrieve it. 24-23, his Saints are in front though, 8:43 to go in the first half. CSU was hot early. They've missed their last 3 from the field though. Dimitri Davis didn't make the catch off the inbounds, had the position and dropped the ball. 6th turnover by CSU. Diaz misses the 3. Davis grabs the rebound. Battle from 17 in transition is good. BJ Battle with 12. Nick Turner forces the turnover. Oxendine turns it over. Nick will step into a long 2. The shot didn't go down. Dimitri Davis saved it in bounds though, and CSU will get a second possession out of it. Into the corner, Davis, long 2. That one's good. Dimitri Davis with his first basket. And that one created by his hustle to keep that rebound alive. So after trailing, CSU has moved back in front. Got a foul coming up on the floor against Dimitri Davis. So with 7:41 to go, we've got a timeout on the floor for a media timeout. There should be, as they're trying to get the scoreboard straight, whether that was a 2 or a 3 from Dimitri Davis. Referee's talking it over. It looked like a clear 2 from our vantage point here. They are going to say 2-point basket to take a point away. So we will get that under 8 media timeout. 27-24. CSU leads it by 3, 7:41 to go here on Cougar Sports TV. (27-24). CSU in front by 3. Dimitri Davis called for the foul, leading to the media timeout. So Jarrell Oxendine on the line for the 1 and 1 after the 7th foul committed in the half by CSU. The junior out of Palatka, Florida, coming off the bench, averaging 11.5 points per game. Had started the last 5 games prior to today and had been in double figures in the last 7. But Bo Clark choosing not to start him today. Coming off the bench, he already has 4. Foul coming up from behind against Adam Jones. 5 now against Flagler as he tried to take the pass away from Shane Hayward. So CSU has it with a 1-point lead. They go back into Hayward, working on Jones. The left-handed hook left it on the short side. Flagler a chance to lead again. CSU led and controlled for much of the early portion of this one And now they find themselves down 28-27 as Keith Matthews has his second bucket. Underneath, Hayward, blocked by Matthews. They'll kick it out, swing it around the outside, and Turner's pass, intended for B.J. Battle, was knocked away by Oxendine. Richard Brown will come in. He is the leader for Flagler with 11 points already, including 3 3-pointers. Davis spins into the lane, drops it off for Hayward, who can't catch it. Turnover, the 7th committed by CSU. Flagler's turned it over just twice. Down at 6.5 minutes to go. CSU is led by as much as 10. Conway, back rim on a 3. The big guy will shoot it from anywhere on the court. Contested or not. Battle cut off at the elbow. Funderburk, guarded by Conway, kicks it up top. They set up Battle in the corner. He steps into a 3. Hit the side of the backboard. Davis kept it alive. Of course, the shot clock won't reset, so there's 15 on it. Hayward at the elbow, kicks out. Turner will try his hand. That one's too strong. Shane with the rebound. Don't count the follow, but a rebounding foul against Flagler's Dennis Diaz. That's his first. 6 on the Saints now, so CSU in the bonus from here on out. CSU has owned the glass and the paint. 18-9 the advantage on the boards. 10-0 in points in the paint, and that time Hayward traveled. 8th turnover now. Flagler, though, has hit 5 times from outside and 5 other 2-point baskets, none of which came in the paint. So they're making tough baskets in this one. One-point Flagler lead. They start the defense chant inside the Lumpkin Center. Jones, flat-footed 3, rebound in the hands, controlled by Funderburk. Battle, long 2. Bounces out. Hayward the rebound. The stick back was underneath the rim. Tried to go reverse with the left hand, but didn't get far enough outside the rim and hit the bottom of it. 5:05 to go. Diaz from NBA range. Nothing but net. Diaz with 9. It's a 4-point Flagler lead. I believe this match is their largest. They had it at 6-2. Hayward's pass thrown away, and Brown called for the foul, or draws the foul on Nick Turner. That'll be his first, and CSU watching the lead slide away from him, and now they trail by 4. 3 subs in the game for the Cougars. Morgan, Salim, and Kirkland in. Hayward, Turner, and Davis sit. So it's Morgan, Kirkland, Funderburk, Jamad Salim, and B.J. Battle. As it's Richard Brown at the line. That was a 1-and-1 opportunity, and Brown now has 12. Hasn't been a free throw missed in this game yet. 6 for 6 for CSU, 4 for 4 for Flagler. Now 5 for 5 as that one rattles in. Brown with 13, he's the game leader. B.J. Battle has 12 for CSU. Six-point deficit, the largest of the game for CSU. Salim with another great pass, sets up Jermaine Morgan. Very impressed with the way Jamad Salim has improved his passing skills from last year to this year. They have improved in a drastic nature. He has 5 assists already. Into the corner. Diaz pump fakes, steps in, long 2, back rim, Salim rebound. Jamad that time with some slick ball handling, able to fight off the pressure. Remember, Jamad has played just 4 games this season because of a multitude of injuries, as Funderburk couldn't hang on to the bounce pass. It goes out of bounds. A 9th turnover committed by CSU. And our final media timeout of the half. 3:55 to go. Flagler 33. Columbus State 29 here on Cougar Sports TV. Final media stoppage of the first half here in the Lumpkin Center. 33-29. Flagler leading Columbus State. Rare midweek afternoon games here inside the Peach Belt Conference. Of course, the Martin Luther King holiday. They had a moment of silence prior to the game number 1 in honor of that. And playing 1:30 and 3:30 in front of a good crowd here in the Lumpkin Center. Had a good crowd on Saturday also. Matthews on the baseline over Kirkland. Matthews was 6, the leading scorer for this team coming into the game. Thunderberg had it knocked away for a moment. They drop it to Kirkland on the baseline. The smaller defender on him. Missed the shot, but Jermaine Morgan on the follow will head to the line. Foul goes on Adam Jones. That's his second. That's the 7th against Flagler, but it'll be a 2-shot foul because he was trying to tip it in. Lydell Manigo will come onto the floor after he started the game. Hasn't played in a while, though. Jones will sit down with the 2 fouls. Jermaine improving on his free throw shooting, makes both of those. It was 69% coming into the game, and now CSU with some full court defense that doesn't discourage Flagler at all. Flagler in front, CSU led by as much as 10. The Saints fought their way back, though, thanks to an 11-0 run to erase that deficit. And now a travel against Flagler is just their 3rd turnover of the game. But it gives it back to CSU with 2:51 to go, trailing by 4. Desmond Gibson back in the game now for Flagler. The 6'7" junior out of Havana, Florida, started the game and back out there now. Salim looking for somewhere to go with it, has Morgan. Morgan into the paint. The soft shot fell off the front rim. Good touch on it, but it rolled out. Oxendine, long 2. Gives him 6. Back to a 6-point game. Salim into the paint, drops it off. Kirkland with a 2-handed slam. And again, all set up by Jamad Salim. You can see the difference he's already made in this team coming back from the injury. Maybe he is the missing piece that this team needs to really take off. It has scorers but it's looking for someone to help distribute as an illegal screen goes against Lydell Manigo. It's his second. And it'll give it back to CSU. Columbus State has quite a few point guards on the roster, but they haven't found the one yet that has consistently made this team go. Haven't had enough time with Jamad on the court to know if he could be the missing ingredient to this puzzle. But already 6 assists for him, and maybe a 7th. He tried to set it up for Kirkland that time, and Oxendine from behind came away to tip that one before it got to Kirkland. Jamad, though, very creative with his passes. He sees the floor well, and he's looking to pass first. Would rather pass than score. Kirkland to the rim, draws the foul on Keith Matthews, who now has 2. So fouls mounting up in the final minutes here of this first half on the Saints. So D'Angelo Kirkland will head to the line for the 1-and-1 as Matthews sits down. Conway comes back in. Matthews, Manigo, and Jones all with 2 fouls for Flagler. Officials making sure they know whether it's 2 or 1-and-1. Take the ball back from D'Angelo. It is the 1-and-1 on the 9th team foul. Foul was on the floor on the drive. So Kirkland for 1-and-1. D'Angelo in double figures in the first half. 10 points, 4 rebounds. And I'll still stick with their most impressive number for him is no fouls. Second one good. 11 now for the junior. And full court press time again. Off the catch, though, CSU will back off, and Funderburk will just guard Richard Brown on the ball. D'Angelo Kirkland, though, making a concerted effort to stay out of foul trouble. I haven't watched him go up and try to block very many shots. He's been staying on the floor and just going arms in the air. And now travel again against Flagler is turnover number 5, and CSU, with 57 seconds to go in the half, has a chance to tie or lead again. See where they choose to go with the basketball. Underneath, Salim gets it into the hands of Kirkland, but he couldn't hang on in traffic. CSU gives it back. Brown in transition, knocks down another long 2. Brown with 15, 4-point game, 37, 36, 35 to go. 4-second differential, battle from downtown, grazes the front rim, and a foul on the floor on the rebound. Jermaine Morgan had the position, and he'll head to the line. Foul goes on Lydell Manigo, and that's his 3rd in this first half. So he'll head immediately to the bench. Jermaine Morgan will have 2 as Flagler has put them in the double bonus. Jermaine with 5 points here in this first half now. Diaz will come back as Manigo sits. 30.6 seconds to go in this first half. It's a 2-point game again. As Robert Moore is going to use the 30-second timeout. He's going to lose if he doesn't. So with 30 seconds left, he'll set up defense for maybe one final possession. Teams get 5 timeouts in the game, 4 30s and a full. You can only carry 3 of those 30s over to the second half, though. So if you don't use it, you just lose it. So Robert Moore chooses to go ahead and use it, set up a defense here. He might as well because he's got a timeout to spare. 39-37, Flagler in front by 2, 30 seconds to go. Shot clock will be off. So Flagler should head into the locker room with the lead, but again, that's a big should. CSU is going to pressure the basketball in the backcourt, try to force a turnover, and see if they can get a late score. Inbounds goes into the hands of Diaz, and CSU called for a foul committed by B.J. Battle, trying to knock the ball away from Richard Brown. For B.J., that's his first, 9th foul against CSU, so Brown will walk to the other side where he'll have the 1-1. Still no free throws missed in this game. 12 for 12 for CSU, 5 for 5 for Flagler. Brown's the game leader. He has 15. Make it 16. He's a 76% shooter. 22 points, his season high. That came against Georgia College. He's 6 away from that, and we're in the first half. Free throws stay perfect. 4-point game, shot clock off, 25 to go. CSU can hold for the last possession. Salim with it, guarded by Oxendine. The count starting now. Jamad will back it off, looking for one final shot here for the Cougars. Salim drives, drops it off. Kirkland makes the catch. Shot up, no good. But Kirkland will head to the free throw line after he was fouled by Gibson. So 2.6 left on the clock in this first half. CSU likely will be down at the half, but D'Angelo Kirkland can make it a one-possession game with his 2 free throws. D'Angelo, 12 points, his high is 14. This one right here would give him one shy of that in the first half. Good shooting by Kirkland gives him 13. Diaz will heave from three-quarter court. Good if it goes, but it'll go off the glass. 41-39 the way we head to the locker room at halftime. Robert Moore's team led by 10 at 21-13, but they let that lead get away from them immediately. Flagler scored 11 unanswered, took a 1-point lead, and then it's been back and forth. Flagler surging ahead by 6 a couple of times, but the Cougars close it out, trailing by just 2. 41-39 as they go to the locker room at the break. Your scoring numbers in the first half, a lot of players in the scoring column for CSU. BJ Battle has 12. D'Angelo Kirkland leads the way with 13. Jermaine Morgan has 6. Shane Hayward with 4. Dimitri Davis and Kenny Funderburk each have 2 apiece. Kenny not getting a lot of stuff going offensively, and that's good. Set up for the second half for him to have a big half. On the other side, Richard Brown, the game leader, has 17 points in the first half. Diaz has 9, 6 for Oxendine and Matthews, and 3 for Adam Jones. So they head to the locker room at the half, 41-39 the score. We'll take the halftime break with them, and when we come back, we'll look at your Peach Belt Conference standings and your updates from around the conference on this Monday afternoon. At the break, 41-39, CSU trailing by 2 on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you at halftime on Cougar Sports TV. 41-39, Columbus State trailing Flagler at the break as the two teams hit the floor to get ready for the second half of action here in Columbus, Georgia, inside the Lumpkin Center. These two teams came in, Flagler at 2-6 in Peach Belt Conference play, CSU at 3-5, but both of the sides of the divisions, the western side is the one that's wide open at this point. On the eastern side of the Peach Belt Conference right now, live the only two undefeated teams inside conference play. Georgia Regents and USC Aiken, each undefeated coming into today, 7-0 and 6-0 respectively. And then it becomes a mess on that side. Lander 4-3, Armstrong, Francis Marion, Flagler, and UNC Pembroke, all with 5 losses at that point. On the west side for CSU, Montevallo's at 6-2, and they're winning by 17 at halftime on the road at UNC Pembroke right now. Georgia Southwestern 5-2. That'll be the next opponent for the Cougars. That'll be on the road in Americus coming up in the next ball game. Then it's Young Harris, who doesn't factor into the standings because of the probationary window they're in right now. North Georgia 3-4. And then Columbus State, who has a chance to make a run through these standings with a couple of games left with Southwestern, 2 left with North Georgia, 2 left with Georgia College. Young Harris and Montevallo still with games to come. So still plenty of time to make up ground. Remember, you need to be in the top 4 when you don't factor in Young Harris on that west side, because those top 4 will get into the Peach Belt Conference tournament coming up in this building March 6th through the 9th. We mentioned Montevallo up right now at the half by 17. The other game going on right now, aside from this one, is Young Harris at Lander, and surprisingly early on, Young Harris trailing 39-31 at half on the road there in Greenwood, South Carolina. The other doubleheaders coming up later on tonight in Peach Belt Conference action. CSU trailing by 2, shoots 41% in that first half. They go 1 of 9 though from downtown. BJ Battle hit 1, RJ Sessions didn't score, and Kenny Funderburk didn't connect on the 2 that he took. 14 of 14 though for the line for CSU. That kept them in this ball game, and also they crushed Flagler on the glass. 24 rebounds to 11 for the Saints. The Saints grab 11 rebounds in the first half. That is an extremely low number. Flagler shoots 44% as a team, 6 of 14 from downtown. That's the difference in this one right now. They came in a 33% shooting team from outside, and they shot it at 43% in the first half. They were perfect from the line as well. They were 7 of 7. Flagler will have the basketball first with a 2-point lead. Manigo out there with Brown, who's the game leader in points. Keith Matthews, who takes the first shot and knocks it down, along with Gibson and Diaz. Matthews has 8. For CSU, it's the starting 5 of Harris, Battle, Sessions, Hayward, and Kirkland. Hayward at the rim, basket and 1. So right away they attack Keith Matthews underneath and draw his 3rd foul. So we'll see what Bo Clark chooses to do with his leading scorer picking up a 3rd foul 22 seconds into the second half. Shane Hayward now with 6 and a chance to make it 7. Post players for CSU playing very well in this ball game. Hayward with 7, and they will get Matthews out. And now Adam Jones will come in his place. One-point game now. CSU led by 10 in the first half, 23-13, but it's nothing new to watch that fall away. Manigo underneath. Got his defender in the air, missed the shot though. And we've got a jump ball, tie up, the arrow pointing Columbus State's way. So Columbus State a chance to lead. There have been a lot of lead changing and shuffling of leads in this game as Flagler settles in again in its zone. RJ Sessions looking for his first points, has him. The freshman didn't get very many minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. Was able to play just 5, has his first points, and he deflects the pass for a turnover. Ty Harris leaves it for D'Angelo Kirkland, who will kick it out. BJ Battle to make it 2 in a row, and he does. BJ Battle with 15 now. And CSU with 6 points in a matter of seconds makes it a 5-point game in their favor. They open the half on a 9-2 run, and Ty Harris hit with his third foul. So Jamon Salim will come off the bench and immediately get back in the lineup. Jamon that first half played 11 minutes, his first game action since early this month against USC Aiken on the 4th. Had 6 assists and no points. Diaz long 3, missed everything and hit the end line. And Bo Clark wants to take a timeout. Doesn't like the way this is heading for his Flagler Saints. They get the opening basket. CSU goes on a 9-0 run, and they lead by 5 with 18:26 to go in the second half. 48-43, Columbus State by 5. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV, 48-43. Columbus State in the midst of a 9-0 run. Out in front right now by 5 after trailing by 2 in the locker room at halftime. D'Angelo Kirkland stared the shot down for a while, finally decided to take it, and a long jumper turns into a long rebound for Diaz. And that time, Diaz runs over R.J. Sessions and gets called for the offensive foul. For Diaz, that's his second. CSU going for its second straight victory after winning by 15 on their home floor here Saturday over Armstrong, 89-74. Battle off a screen, guarded well by Manigo. They get Kirkland off a screen now, not the shooter though, coming off. Sessions from the elbow, misses the shot, but fouled in the process, and he'll head to the line. The foul will go on Desmond Gibson. That's his second. That's 3 on Flagler, and R.J. Sessions, who just got his first points of the game, will try his hand at the line. RJ, though, a guy you know that's not going to be discouraged at all. He doesn't score, no problem. He thinks he can go for 30 in the second half. CSU is led by as much as 10. They now lead by 7 as their run continues. It's 11 unanswered for the Cougars in this half after Keith Matthews scored the first 2 to make it a 4-point game. 11 in a row and a chance to add on as Adam Jones can't handle the pass. Bo Clark telling his team, use the middle against that press. Don't go down the sideline and hamstring yourself. R.J. Sessions, a heat check, fell out halfway down and bounced out. Seven-point lead. 17 and change to go. They set up Oxendine from downtown. That's not there. And now Robert Moore saying go with it. Get in transition, but Jamad Salim couldn't control it. Slowed him down. Battle off a screen, back rim on the 3. Rebound grabbed by Gibson. Brown puts it on the floor, cut off. Hands it back off, and they'll reset up top with 16 on the shot clock. Brown got lost. Clean look at a 3, and he misses. He had not missed in the first half. He was perfect from downtown, 3 of 3. Hayward underneath, clobbered by Gibson, and Shane will head to the line. So that's the 3rd on Gibson. He's the 3rd player for Flagler to pick up their 3rd foul. Gibson, Matthews, and Manigo all have 3. Shane Hayward at the line for CSU in a 7-point game. Cougars working on an 11-0 run. The miss that time by Hayward, the first time CSU has missed from the line today. They were 17 of 17 prior. Conway in for Flagler, as is Keith Matthews, who comes back with his 3 fouls. You would imagine CSU will try to attack him on the defensive end. Now CSU settling into a 1-3-1 look on the full court. They throw it over the top. Brown directing traffic. And then Oxendine traveled, and I believe that's at least 3 times he's traveled by himself in this ball game. And Flagler, who didn't turn it over very much at all early in the game, has now turned it over 9 times for the game. So the run keeps going. It's 12 in a row for CSU. Jamad Salim driving, dishing. Kirkland back to the basket, over 2 defenders on the backside. It fell. Brown kicks out. Oxendine will try again, and again the 3 doesn't go. The rebound last touched by Flagler and out of bounds. 15:36 to go. Under 16 media timeout on the floor, 51-43. Columbus State up by 8 on Cougar Sports TV. Eight-point lead for Columbus State. 10 is the largest it's been. That was 23-13. A chance to get out to that here with a basket. 15:30 to go as CSU looks for its 2nd straight conference win. Kirkland to the rim. Finger roll. Good for D'Angelo. New season high now for D'Angelo Kirkland of 15. Conway's 3 misses. They're 0 for 4 in the half from downtown. CSU making it all 1 shot. Kirkland on the feed from Salim. Kirkland with 17 now. Jamad Salim with 7 assists. 17 points for D'Angelo Kirkland, 5 of 8 from the field, 7 of 7 from the foul line. It is 16-0, the run right now by CSU. Conway will try again, halfway down. And the run will keep on going. Salim looking for the trailer. It's Battle, and he knocks it down. BJ Battle with a 3 and a timeout, Flagler. Game getting away from the Saints as Columbus State in total control. 18 for BJ Battle. 58-43. 19 unanswered from CSU after trailing by 4 early in this half. .21 to go. It is all CSU in this second half. They have scored 19 in a row. Keith Matthews scored the first basket of this half on the opening possession. That made it 43-39. It is now 19 unanswered for CSU to make it a 58-43 lead. The floater can't put an end to it. Hayward has the rebound. RJ from downtown off the back rim. Brown has the rebound. It's poked away from behind, though, by BJ Battle. Good hustle by the junior. Salim now looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. Got fancy that time and had it stolen away by Jones. He got caught too far in the defense and couldn't get the pass off. Conway finally ends the run at 19-0 as he knocks down one from beyond the arc. That was over 6 minutes without a point for Flagler and 19 unanswered points for CSU. Took it from a 4-point deficit to a 15-point lead. Kirkland on the off the dribble, had it knocked away and off of his leg, and D'Angelo was asking for a foul call and doesn't get it. So CSU turns it over to give it back. It's a 12-point game. You always have to state the caveat that CSU has struggled in situations like this year. When they've had double-digit leads, especially early in second halves, they've struggled to put teams away. They've allowed a lot of teams to get back in it. They've lost 4 of their 5 conference games this season that they've lost have been in games in which they had double-digit leads. So no game is ever over. CSU, though, hoping that on Saturday they turned a corner when they led by double digits and just continued to add on and never allowed Armstrong to threaten in the second half. Brown knocks down a 3. It's back-to-back threes, and it's now gone from 15 to 9. And now a turnover from Funderburg gives it back, so here you go. Conway for a third 3 in a row goes down. Flagler has knocked 9 points off the lead on 3 shots. It's a 6-point game, and Robert Moore needs a timeout. 6-point game now in the Lumpkin Center. 9-0 Flagler run, and we got a ball game on our hands all of a sudden. 12:37 to go, 58-52. Columbus State in front. If you're CSU, you feel like you've watched this script before. It's still a 6-point lead, though, but there's 12 and a half minutes to go. It was 15 1 minute ago. 3 threes in a row from Flagler, though, have made it a ball game. Hayward on the turnaround. It misses short. Jermaine Morgan has it for the follow, and he's fouled. CSU still crushing it on the glass. 33-16 at the moment, as the foul was called on Conway, his second. Jermaine Morgan for much-needed points opportunity here at the line for CSU. Jermaine had 6 in that first half. Jermaine able to get 1 of 2. Makes it a 9-point or 7-point game and puts an end to the 9-0 run. Brown keeps Flagler hot from the field, though, as he knocks down the 2. It's a 5-point game. 12:05 to go. Hayward spinning into the lane, turns it over on the possession arrow. The jump ball favors Flagler. Give it back to him with a chance to get within 1 possession. And with 11:51 to go, immediate timeout on the floor. What was 15 is now down to 5, 59-54. Columbus State in front here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here courtside with you inside the Lumpkin Center. 11:51 to go. Flagler with the basketball. 2 minutes ago, they trailed 58-43. Now they find themselves down 59-54 in the midst of an 11-1 run. 2 minutes have gone off the clock, and they have the basketball with a chance to get within 1 possession. We've watched this play out before a bunch of times. And now a foul coming up against Kenny Funderburk. They initially showed Shane Hayward, who wasn't near the ball. The foul goes on Kenny Funderburk. It's his second. That's 2 against CSU in the half. Chance to get it inside 1 possession now after they were down 15 moments ago. They've hit 4 straight shots, including 3 threes. Here's a chance for another. Diaz off the back rim. CSU dodges a bullet. Diaz had a clean look. Harris trying to go to Morgan. Threw it too high, and Jermaine had to go run it down. CSU needs somebody to make a basket here. Harris off the dribble, to the rim, off the glass. Ty Harris showing some quickness. Gets his first 2 points on a lay-in. So 7-point game now. Jones backing down Hayward. Got Shane in the air, made the basket, and count it. Shane went up for the block. Jones waited him out, made the basket, and will have a chance at a free throw. Foul on Hayward is his first. Jones with 6. It's a 4-point game now. Funderburg. They hedge off the double team. Kinney has just 2 in this game. Harris cut off to Battle. Battle off a screen for 3. Long rebound to Diaz. No numbers going the other way. Conway drives, cut off by Battle, takes the turnaround, and no one home to rebound but Shane Hayward. Harris to the rim. The shot, they'll wave off the follow by Hayward. Harris gets the foul called against Diaz. It's his 3rd. So Ty Harris to the line where he'll have 2 shots. Ty giving them a much-needed offensive boost here in the last few seconds. You look at the numbers. CSU so far this season, 7 times is led by double digits, only to watch the opponent come back and erase that deficit. It happened to them in the first half of this one, but they opened up another double-digit lead. Flagler has threatened to get back in the game, though, in this half already. D'Angelo Kirkland with a couple of offensive rebounds on the possession. Gives it off that time to Kenny Funderburg, cutting to the rim, and give Kirkland credit there. 2 offensive rebounds, set up 2 points for Kenny Funderburg. So it stretches out to a 7-point game. Flagler got as close as 4 after trailing by 15. Matthews working on Morgan in the post. I think they're going to say Jermaine fouled him on the floor. That's his 2nd. Ty will come out. Jamad Salim into the game at the point guard spot. Ty the better scorer. Jamad has had better control of the offense, though, in this game. Kirkland guarding Matthews. Matthews turnaround. Wasn't there. Salim the rebound. Off to Morgan. Caught under the rim. Off to Funderburg, who is fouled and will head to the line. Nice job in transition by CSU that time. Found Funderburg, who will head to the free throw line to try to earn 2. Foul goes on Conway. It's his 3rd with 8:51 to go. Been a quiet day for Kinney. 26 points for him on Saturday versus Armstrong. He's 6 times this season scored 20 or more. Today, though, just 5. They've been able to do it without him, thanks to D'Angelo Kirkland having 17 and B.J. Battle having 18. 8-point game, 8:40 to play. Matthews through a double team, hands it off. Gibson blocked, but a foul coming up from behind. They're going to hit Funderburg with his 3rd. Kenny thought he had all ball. Bo Clark, head coach for Flagler, clapping, applauding his team, saying, hey guys, Hey, guys in black, we got to get some stops. We got to get some stops. The defensive end is where they've got to get going. Gibson getting his first point at the foul line just then. RJ Sessions back in. BJ Battle getting a rest. BJ is CSU's leader with 18. Conway on the offensive glass gets the follow. So 3-point possession for Flagler makes it a 5-point game. 65-60, 8:15 left. Into the corner, Kirkland pump fakes, drives, spin, follow away, falls out. Brown to the rim, wild one, missed. Gibson got the offensive rebound and the kick out over the head of Conway and into the Flagler bench. Bo Clark wanted a foul on the Brown attempt, doesn't get one. And with 7:46 to go, we have a media timeout. CSU holding on for the moment. 65-60 the score. 7:46 to go. Cougars by 5. Five-point game, Columbus State in front with the basketball. 65-60 the score. 7:45 and counting. Again, it was as wide as a 15-point game as RJ Sessions misses the three. Funderburk on the second follow attempt draws the foul and he'll head to the line. Kenny that time was being boxed out by Richard Brown. Kenny has 5 inches on him. So Brown at the disadvantage commits his first, and Kenny headed to the line for 2. Could really use some scoring out of Funderburk here in the second half. Kenny, a guy at his best when he's knocking down mid-range shots and going to the basket hard, trying to get to the free throw line. His strong suit is not outside shooting. It's 15 feet and in. Full court press now after the make. 67-60, a 7-point game. Flagler is going to make Columbus State work for the win. They didn't pack it up and go home when they trailed by 15 early in this half. Diaz to the rim, blocked, but he'll hit the floor and he'll draw the foul. The foul will go on Funderburk, and that's a big one because that's his 4th. So Kenny will have to come out. One of the few times I can remember Kenny being in foul trouble this season. 7-point game, and it's Diaz at the line where he'll have 2. He had 9 in the first half. That was his first point of this second group. Battle will come in. Funderburk will sit down with 7:17 to go. The lefty knocks them both through. Flagler with 2 players in double figures. CSU with 2 also. Brown and Diaz have 22 and 11 respectively. Battle with 18. Kirkland with 17. Salim to the rim, and he goes with the right hand. Diaz slipped, and Jamad Salim made it pay. Salim's first 2 points to go along with 8 assists. Jamad has only turned it over 2 times, making a big impact in his first game back. Matthews, fall away, wipe it off. lowered the shoulder and committed the offensive foul, and that is his fourth. So that is now both leading scorers for each team with 4 fouls with nearly 7 minutes to go. Flagler, though, will leave Matthews out there at least for one more possession. So if you're CSU, you have to attack him. He's guarding Jermaine Morgan, who gives it up. Salim to the rim, the kick out, Battle open, right wing 3. Off the back, Jermaine Morgan tips the rebound, and at midcourt, Battle has it. Sessions a chance at 3. That's off the rim. Battle has another rebound, and the follow good. BJ Battle with 20. He's one shy of his career high of 21. His career high, 21 last year. He has a new season high with 20. Had 18 earlier this season against UNC Pembroke, and now we've got another foul coming up on the offensive end for Flagler. That one goes against Diaz, and that's his fourth. So they'll get Matthews out of the game. Diaz will stay there, though. Actually, they'll get him off. Nope, they'll get Brown off. So they're going to leave Diaz on the floor with the 4 fouls. They get Matthews out of there and Brown out. 9-point game. CSU stretching it back out with under 6 minutes to go. Battle driving to the rim with left hand, lays it in. There it is. New career high for BJ Battle. It's 22. Diaz, left baseline, throws it to no one. Out of bounds, and CSU executing here the last few minutes has opened up an 11-point lead, and Flagler taking a timeout. 5:35 to go, 73-62. CSU back in front by 11. Stephen Williams back here with you inside the Lumpkin Center. Cougar Sports TV, your home for Columbus State University Athletics. 73-62, Cougars by 11. And Jamad Salim drawing a foul, penetrating to the basket. Foul goes on Diaz, and that is it. Diaz is gone. 5 for Diaz, and he is out with 11 points. Richard Brown will come back in his place. Double bonus for CSU as Jamad Salim goes to the line for 2 shots. Jamad making an immediate impact today, back off a 4-game hiatus from an injury. Misses the free throw. He's only taken 9 of them now for the season. He missed the first 7 games with a broken wrist. Missed the last 4 with a high ankle sprain. This is just the 5th game he's played all year, and he's playing it with a broken left hand. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. 12-point lead. CSU had a 15-point edge. Flagler went on an 11-1 run, ended up cutting it down to as low as 4 as Conway misses an open look from outside. But CSU has opened it back up. It's now at 12. Salim missed the opportunity, and D'Angelo Kirkland hits the floor on the follow, and he'll have 2 shots coming up. Foul goes on Adam Jones. That's his 3rd. So D'Angelo to the line. 17 points, 7 rebounds. Kirkland having his best game as a Cougar so far, has missed for the first time from the foul line. D'Angelo was 8 for 8 prior to that one, and this is a guy that shoots at 59.5%. 13-point game. Manigo, air balls. Sessions will push it. CSU not going to back off the gas pedal. And a foul coming up on Manigo. A blocking foul as BJ Battle was driving to the rim. Manigo now with 4. So CSU trying to put this game away with minutes to spare at the free throw line. BJ Battle, a new career high. 22 points today. Also has 7 rebounds to go with it. So it's been a great day for the junior out of Orlando. CSU came into this weekend badly needing to sweep. 2 teams that are about where they are in the middle of the pack in the conference. Had them on their home floor and needed to get them after they've given some games away. They got the first one with a 15-point win over Armstrong Saturday. They're up 15 now with 4.5 minutes to go in this one. And that lead down to 12 after Richard Brown hits his 5th trifecta of the game. Now Flagler will pressure in the backcourt. They get it across with 3 seconds to spare. Off to Morgan, and Morgan with the big throwdown. Credit Salim with another assist. Jermaine Morgan with a 2-handed finish gives him 9. 9 helpers for Jamad Salim. Matthews, double team, drops it off. Manigo missed the shot. BJ Battle went up to discourage it. RJ Sessions to bring the house down. 8 for RJ, and Flagler needs another timeout. 17 points the lead now, the largest of the game. 82-65. Columbus State in front. 3:44 to go. CSU back in total control. They've opened up their largest lead of the game with 3:40 to go. It's 17 at 82-65. Trying to win back-to-back games again inside conference play. Matthews underneath, drops it off, and Brown has a basket and the foul. Richard Brown is just looking for a running mate to help him out because he's had a phenomenal night. A foul goes on D'Angelo Kirkland, and we don't have this number, but it's got to be the latest in a ball game that Kirkland has ever picked up his first foul. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left, and D'Angelo picks up number 1. Brown, though, by the way, has 27 points now. Give him 28. His previous high was 22. He has carried the load for Flagler tonight. Unfortunately, Diaz is the only one that's helped him out. He has 11. Nobody else in double figures. Sessions to the rim. He'll answer with his own and 1. Put RJ in double figures. All of it in this half. Jones picks up his 4th foul. And I told you, coming out of the locker room, just because RJ was scoreless doesn't mean his confidence is hurt. Sessions knocks the free throw down. Give him 11 now. That's 1 better than his average of just nearly 10 points per game. And now Jermaine with a foul, being over-aggressive away from the basket, trying to hedge out on that screen. That was the 8th foul committed by CSU, and it'll send Keith Matthews to the line for the 1-and-1. That's the 3rd on Jermaine. Then a good afternoon for CSU. It looked like a game might slip away from them again after they led by 15 with 13 and a half minutes to go. They had a 19-0 run to take a 15-point edge after they trailed by 4. And then they watched Flagler go on an 11-1 run, make it a 5-point game, cut it as low as 4 before responding and going to work and now opening up a big advantage. Is it a chance now for CSU potentially to be turning a corner? We'll see. That's 5 fouls, though, on the part of Keith Matthews. It's been a frustrating day for the leading scorer for this Flagler team. He gets just 8 points, was really not much of a factor in this ball game. BJ Battle back to the line to keep tacking it on to his career high. We told you, though, if CSU had been able to protect leads this season, you'd be looking at a team that came into today 13-2. They'd be sitting on top of the Peach Belt Conference Western Division and probably in the top 25 in the country. However, they haven't been holding on to leads, so that's not the case. But this weekend, this 3-day weekend we've had, they've held on to 2 double-digit leads against Peach Belt Conference foes, and they look like they're on their way to a 2nd straight victory. We'll talk with Robert Moore afterwards and see if that may be the case. Sessions for 3. Around and out, D'Angelo Kirkland with the rebound, but he was standing out of bounds when he got it. $19-point game, 2:25 to go, and this one all but done at this point. Brown, who's closing in on 30. Gives it up. Oxendine straight on 3. Missed to the right. It's been a tough shooting day for him from beyond the arc. He's 2 for 8 from the field tonight for 6 points. 2 minutes to go. 19-point game. CSU looking to get to 10-6 overall and 4-5 in conference. And Jamad Salim will have 2 free throws coming up as Oxendine commits the foul. .152 on the clock. 87-68. CSU rolling. Jamad Salim at the line. As Robert Moore will check some of the subs in and allow the faithful here in the Lumpkin Center to give them a round of applause as they hit the bench. D'Angelo Kirkland and BJ Battle sit down. Those two had 26 and 18 today. Jamad Salim gets the second of the 2, giving him 4 points, and he'll sit down. As will RJ Sessions as Nick Turner. Chevy Keaton in the game. Dimitri Davis and Jay Manning out there as well as Brown misses the 3, and that'll get caught up above the rim, or above the backboard. Now Brandon Dawson will come in as Jermaine Morgan will sit down. Another round of applause for the Cougar regulars. Robert Moore went to a shorter rotation today and got the most out of his guys. A 20-point lead with 1:40 to go. Good afternoon for CSU. Faltered for a few minutes in the second half, but bounced back, had an answer, and they're going to get a well-earned Peach Belt Conference victory on their home floor. Shot clock at 10 now. Dimitri Davis between the circles. He's going to drive all the way to the rim. The shot good and one. Dimitri Davis tacking on for CSU. He has 4, and CSU with 90 now. Dimitri can't finish it off. Three goes through that time for Oxendine. He finally gets it to fall from outside, makes it a 19-point game. And under a minute to go, CSU will run a lot of this clock out before putting another shot up. Down to 8 now as Keaton goes to work. Off to Nick Turner, left wing three. That's good. Everybody getting in on the act now. 93-71. Into the corner, Brown, a three. That's good. Give him credit. That's 31 for Richard Brown, his 6th from downtown. Shot clock off, game clock at 15, and CSU is going to get a 93-74 victory as CSU hangs 54 in the second half on Flagler after trailing 41-39 at halftime. (93-74) the final. CSU earns the victory. They get to 10-6 overall, 4-5 in Peach Belt Conference play. Robert Moore's bunch getting 2 in a row. They've won 3 in a row on their home court. And we will hear from the Cougars and Robert Moore before we wrap up here on the postgame here on Cougar Sports TV. Strong day across the board as CSU is led by B.J. Battle with a career-high 26 points this afternoon as he pours the points in for CSU in this one. D'Angelo Kirkland gets 18 points, also gets a host of rebounds as well as sets a new season high as well, and he's getting ready to sit down with us and talk here in the postgame. 93-74 the final. D'Angelo Kirkland with us now. First off, let's talk about it. You all have had a lot of leads slip away. The last 2 days, though, you've been able to hold on to it. What feels like the difference?
We just get in the huddle, like, during the game, just to make sure we finish it. You know, we talk about it, you know what I mean? We talk about finishing. Coach stresses that we got to finish games. So, you know, we get out big leads. We lost like 4, you know what I mean? And we were up 10, but we weren't finishing. Coach got on to us and made sure we start finishing.
Jamad Salim comes back today. How much was that better for you to have him out there?
Yes, it was great. It was great having him out there. Like, he's one of the best point guards like that we got that can get in the lane and dish it off.
You've had an issue, it seems like, this year, frustrated to get fouls.
Yeah.
Today, was it a key for you to stay out of it? You stayed on the floor a lot more rather than going up.
Yeah. Well, Coach talked to me. He told me I got to start making adjustments, and I did.
You look at it, this team now, you feel like you're getting in a rhythm, turning a corner now and setting it up for the second half run?
Yes, sir. We definitely getting in the rhythm. Everybody, like, is working together. We coming together. We gelling. You know what I mean? Coach stresses gelling all the time, and we just start working together. 18
points, 8 rebounds for you today. Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
D'Angelo Kirkland wrapping things up here with us today. As the Cougars win at 93-74, he goes for 18 and 8. That's a new career high for him in a Columbus State uniform. Robert Moore will be down here with us shortly as we wrap things up from the Lumpkin Center. CSU, though, trailed 41-39 at the half, and then they end up going 54-33 in the second half as the script completely changed and the Cougars got going offensively. They shoot 53% as a team in the second half, 48 for the game. They go 6 of 23 from downtown. They didn't knock down a ton of shots, but it didn't matter. They hit them when they needed to, and they were great on the glass. They get a 48-23 rebounding advantage today. The notes don't say it, but that's got to be the largest advantage for CSU in a ballgame this season, and probably the largest advantage they've had in a long time. And then look at the free throw shooting. 31 of 39 for Columbus State, a team that has not been great shooting free throws. They shot them well on Saturday against Armstrong, and they shoot them really well in this one as well. And so that will pay dividends down the stretch, and you heard D'Angelo talk about it. They've stressed finishing ball games. finish, because they have not done that this season. And now that's 2 nights in a row where they finished a basketball game in which they had a double-digit lead. So we'll see. Maybe they're turning a corner. Maybe it's an opportunity for them to really get going as they get close to clawing back to 500 in Peach Belt Conference play. 26 points for B.J. Battle, a career high to go with 8 rebounds, leads the way for Columbus State today. 18 for D'Angelo Kirkland, 11 for R.J. Sessions, and nobody else in double figures. On a day in which they score 93, it's nice to see them get that many points without too many guys in double figures. That means it's well spread around, and for CSU, that's the largest point total they've scored in any game this season. So the offense was really working today. On the other side, 31 for Richard Brown, a new high for him. 10 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He played a phenomenal 38 minutes, just didn't have a whole lot of help. Dennis Diaz had 11. That was the only other player in double figures for Flagler. Heath Matthews had 8. He's their leading scorer, but that's half of what he averages. And so that will help you struggle to a 19-point loss. CSU, again, 48-23 on the glass, 15 offensive rebounds, as they get nearly as many offensive rebounds as Flagler had rebounds total in the ballgame, and that is generally a winning combination. CSU head coach Robert Moore getting set to sit down with us as his team wins at 93-74. Coach, 2 nights in a row now, you've had a double-digit lead. It almost got away, but in the end, your team made enough plays down the stretch to hold on to it.
Oh, yeah, and I think Flagler had a lot to do with that, Stephen. I thought they did a great job of making shots. They got some guys that can make some shots. I thought our guys did a better job on the offensive rebounding because we weren't making any shots during that stretch. So the offensive rebounding kind of carried us over. I think we out-rebounded them very badly, and we also shot better free throws tonight.
How about the rebounding? 48-23. Your guys getting it done on the glass.
Oh, yeah. That was our emphasis going into the game. We had saw some of their games on tape, video games, or their past games, and we saw a lot of teams out-rebounding them. So we just telling our guys, keep crashing the glass and good things going to happen. And they did a good job of that night.
Is Jamad Salim the missing link to this team? He comes in, he's not trying to score, but doesn't miss a beat. 8 assists today.
Oh, yeah. Jamal understands what we want to do because he had so much playing time last year when Winfred Ivey went out with that jaw injury. He understands that we got to get the ball inside. He understands guys got to get shots in rhythm. He's a key to our basketball team. It's just unfortunate he had some bad injuries this year, and hopefully he's okay to keep playing. You never know with him. You go in the locker room, he might be hurt again. So Salim's a big key to our team, and I thought he did a great job tonight.
Actually, 10 assists. Don't want to undersell that. You go 30 minutes, though, in this ballgame today. The first 30 minutes with Shane and D'Angelo not picking up a foul. Have we done that this season?
Not at all. I'm so used to those guys sitting down and playing other guys. You know, a lot of guys didn't get a lot of minutes tonight because those guys didn't stay in foul trouble. I thought D'Angelo did a great job, 18 and 8. I thought Shane struggled. He got to make some shots on the inside to keep us going. But D'Angelo picked him up, and that's what good teams do.
Was it an emphasis? Because you watch, Shane is the shot blocker, and he gets up and gets a lot of them. But D'Angelo, a guy that generally gets his, getting up in the air and getting caught. And today it seemed like he stayed planted on the ground and was just more, let's just put arms straight up.
Oh, yeah, he did a good job of that tonight because, you know, Shane always feels like he's the shot blocker back there. D'Angelo just stayed solid, were able to get some key rebounds and key stops. I thought it was a good game overall.
A weekend in which you felt like you needed a sweep. We talked about that on Saturday. You get it. You feel like you're turning a corner now?
Oh, yeah. I thought we did a good job, even through some adversity and things didn't go well. I thought some guys stepped up. R.J. Sessions picked up a quick 2 fouls early in the game, and guys got a little frustrated. And Flagler was able to take a 2-point lead into the half, but we kind of fought through that and came out with a little bit more intensity in the second half and was able to put them away.
We talk about a lot when you take tough losses that sometimes 1 can lead to 2 and 2 to 3. Can the same thing happen when you pick up 2 wins like this? It can lead you forward?
Oh, in this league, anything can happen. I mean, I'm looking at the standings, and I thought Pembroke had a real good team, and they only lost 5 in a row. So I got to tell our guys, we got to find a way to win some games on the road. And when you win on the road, it's all about toughness. And, you know, a lot of guys make toughness swinging and hitting on a guy. It's not like that. You got to be mentally tough to step up to the free throw line. You got to be mentally tough to go for that last loose ball. You got to play these last 10 games. You got to play every play like it's your last. You know, and we should be fine.
Tough road trip coming up now. You head to Georgia Southwestern, who's been right there with Montevallo at the top of this conference. what challenges do they present in a tough building to go play in?
No, Coach Leader got a great team over there. They got good size, they got good quickness, they got shooters. So it's almost a team that you want to make if you're trying to start a basketball team. He's got a mixer of everything. So it's going to cause some challenges on the inside because they got good inside post play and also on the outside. So we got to be able to play a little zone, a little man, and try to mix it up and try to confuse them. But it's going to be a tough game for us. But, I mean, I like our chances.
Coach, 2 good wins for you this weekend. Glad to have it.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Coach Robert Moore, as we wrap things up here on the postgame show, Columbus State sweeping the doubleheader for the second time in this 3-day weekend. 79-74. The women win it in game number 1 over Flagler. They convert down the stretch and pick up a 5-point victory. And then 93-74, the men win it going away. 19-point victory for Robert Moore's crew down the stretch here in the men's half of the doubleheader. So we wrap things up for now for Cougar Sports TV on this Monday afternoon. The Cougars, 10-6 overall, 4-5 in Peach Belt Conference play. The next time we hit the air, it'll be February 1st. Georgia College will be in here at 1:30 and 3:30. And it'll be the first time we see the Bombcats this season, as it'll be the battle for the Pickle Barrel on that February 1st day. So we look forward to seeing all of you then when we get set to kick off the spring sports schedule. So to wrap things up here on this Monday afternoon, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, glad to have you with us wherever you were from. For everyone here at Columbus State University and Cougar Sports TV, this is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.